ClipoftheDay.
In Paris, because they're also ramping up for the big IPCC climate. This is the one, the climate change conference.
Oh, that's when everyone's flying in on their private jets talking about.
Yeah. You know what else? But you know what else they got going on there that they're rolling in right now? They have Noah's Ark's animal sculptures, and these are not small. So they got 2 giraffes, 2 hippos. Yeah, they're bringing.
Isn't that a religious thing, the Noah's Ark thing? Isn't that religious? When they all of a sudden get to this religious inclination?
Excellent point, John. Excellent point. Yeah, that's as part of the setup. So, this is a scientific conference. This is very good. A scientific conference, and around the conference, I don't know if it's going to be outside or inside, they have all of Noah's Ark's animals, because I guess the implication is if we don't change something, then we will need to start over again with two of each.
That sounds indicates flooding. I mean, that's what it seems. Well, hold on a second. Since we're talking about flooding,
take a look at the mud flats here.
Now, I'm going to take a look out the window because there's a freeway down the hill that you can see it, and the freeway's at sea level, by the way, and it's still there, and there's cars on it, and there's mud flats.
And
yep, they're there. There's still mud flats.
The science is in.
Science. Yeah,
mud flats have not moved an inch.
Hey, I'm going to look into this. This Noah's Ark. No, Noah's Ark Animals IPCC meeting. What are they thinking? You're so right. You are so right. But why do they think they can do this? That's not science. Oh, wait. There's a scientific version, really? Oh, I got it. This is nuts.
There's a scientific version of Noah's Ark.
Yeah, I got to look into this. Okay, while we're on the topic of global warming and climate change, etc., Robert Redford, in conversation with Larry King, who still thinks he's on some channel that people watch, which is pretty funny.
He gets paid.
Yeah, I don't care. But Robert Redford, who recently spoke at the United Nations and was so humbled by the experience. They let anybody speak there. Come on. Here we go.
You addressed the UN recently.
Well,
yeah, you did. What, are you shocked? You did. You were there.
I think so. Yeah, I was. That was quite an honor.
What were you talking about?
Climate change. And it was about the fact that we've been talking about climate change for 20 years. It's time to stop talking about it and do something about it. So urgency was a theme in speaking.
Why are there still deniers?
Well, you can answer that as well as I can.
Look at the weather. I mean, how can you deny it?
If you belong to a...
Did you hear what he said? Look at the weather. How can you deny it?
Nuts.
Look at the weather. How can you deny it?
That as well as I can.
Look at the weather. I mean, how can you deny it?
If you belong to a certain group of people that are afraid of change, which I think some people are, and so they're going to deny change when it happens.
So they just deny it. But isn't it obvious that we're going
Well, it is to you and to me, and probably is to them, but they don't want to admit it because it means they're going to have to accept change or they're going to have to give up something. I don't know what the deal is.
I don't know what the deal is. I don't know what the deal is.
Don't take my word for it. Be skeptical.
Yeah, thank you, Bill.
So we got a letter.
Yes.
From Christian. I won't say his last name. He's drunk again. Sorry, missed to add this. I guess he sent another letter in earlier.
Oh, I saw that. He was drunk, John. Come on. He was. You jumped on him in this email thread, but he was drunk.
Exxon helped to found and lead the Global Climate Coalition, an alliance of some of the world's largest companies seeking to halt government efforts to curb fossil fuel. Exxon used the American Petroleum Institute, right-wing think tanks, campaign contributions, as old lobbying to push a narrative that climate science is too uncertain to necessitate cuts in fossil fuel emissions. You think I jumped on him too much? I jumped on him for my comment that, gee, let me think. I'm an oil company, and I am going, and these guys are attacking my business, so I'm going to do what I can to defend myself. Oh, my God. I can't believe that an oil company would do such a...
I believe you actually wrote all caps OMG. I'm pretty sure you put OMG in the note. OMG, a real OMG. Very good, John. There's a kicker to this Larry King thing. Robert Redford, who, again, Mr. Redford, my mom loved you. My mom was she would just heat up for you.
I met him.
Did he have the crusty ass lips when you met him?
No, I met him real early in the game. This is when I'm in college, and they're doing the movie. I'm with my girlfriend at the time, and we're floating around.
Wait. What was her name? Your girlfriend?
Lucy.
Was she hot?
They're all hot. And so I'm floating around Monterey with her for some reason.
Yeah,
and
I'll bet.
I think I floated around her twice in Monterey. Both times, one time I ran into Paul Newman, and this time we ran into Robert Redford.
She was your lucky. You should have never dumped her. She was your lucky charm. What happened? Did she dump you, or did you dump her?
I don't. This is bad. Who cares? You want to hear the story about Robert Redford?
I'd rather talk about Lucy. Are you kidding me? Everybody wants to hear about Lucy.
Yeah, well, it's not what the show's about. So we're there, and there's film. There's a bunch of film crew there, and there's a bunch of, and she knew who it was. I didn't know who he was, because this is during the movie The Politician. I think it's like his second movie. Very old movie. And so she says, "Oh, that's Robert Redford." Who? So there he is. Go find out what they're doing. And so Robert she pushes me into this. He's standing by himself over by the side, and I go up to him and start chatting with him. And he's wearing sunglasses, and you could just, and he's relatively young. You could just tell by the way he's standing with his sunglasses, looking back and forth, wondering
if anyone recognizes him.
Yeah, wondering why I'm talking to him, and there's not a huge crowd around him. You could see it. I said, "So what are you shooting?" He says, "It's a movie about a politician." I said, "Oh, good." And I said a couple of things, and he's still looking. He's looking. He's actually moving his head, wondering why he hasn't had.
He was probably ogling Lucy.
No, she was too far away. He was waiting for his throng.
How can I dump this guy and get that hot chick? Okay, but now these days, I don't know. 2 words. Labello stick, Mr. Redford. Somebody's got to look out for this guy. It's like he just ate a glazed donut. It's all crusty and all chipped.
He needs to wear some chapstick for sure.
This is not okay. Well, he doesn't understand the president.
What do you think of Obama's clean power plan?
Well, I like his plan. I mean,
in other words, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I think, look, it's puzzling because he's doing so many great things I really do support.
Oh, great things, just great things.
Then it comes to the Arctic drilling, and I can't put that one together. No. I just can't put that one together.
No.
Because once you start that, once you drill in the Arctic, you're looking at the end game, I think. And so that's puzzling to me because he's doing so many good things, which I totally support. And then something like that comes around, and you say, well, what's going on? It's kind of hard to figure out.
Yeah, well, of course. Look at who funded him. Come on, you know what's going on. You know how it works, Robert. Bob.
He's just pretending.
Just a quick callback to that Noah's Ark thing at the...
well, you're not preoccupied with this.
I am, yeah. Well, you called it out so beautifully. Since when does a scientific gathering have anything to do with a biblical story? Yeah, this is very good. I really enjoyed this. And this brings me to this clip that was sent to me one of our producers. The Garden of Eden. Where was the Garden of Eden?
It was in the Middle East.
The Garden of Eden was in Missouri. And you can know this by looking at the neutrons in the ice. You can know this by looking at the pollen grains per cubic centimeter in the sediment of ponds. You can know this by looking carefully at the rings on trees during warm seasons, wet seasons, cold seasons, dry seasons. And you can work your way back and figure out that the Garden of Eden was in Missouri. It's still a significant place. And so to have a generation of science students being brought up without awareness of a formula for disaster, I mean, everybody kind of knows that the Garden of Eden was in Missouri.
Who is this idiot?
Bill Nye, the science guy.
Oh, my God.
In Missouri. If you're in Missouri, don't eat the apples.
That is the most. That is clip of the day for being just outrageous.
If you're in Missouri, John,
clip of the day.
Just listen to me. If you're in Missouri, whatever you do, don't eat the apples.
Clip of the day.
You had to go out of your way to set that joke up.
I loved it.
Wow. You got to take that sub-little clip that just Garden of Eden's in Missouri that went at the end. And he says cocksure.
I think I have it already. I think our producer already subbed it for me. Let me see.
The Garden of Eden was in Missouri. And you can know this by looking at the neutrons in the ice.
Now we know
so the Garden of Eden was real too? But Noah's Ark is real? What is happening? Science is the new religion.
Guys gone off the deep end.
This is it. We're taking science is the new religion to an extreme where we're scientifically proving these stories. That's what's going on.
There may be an angle like exactly what you said.
There's got to be some kind of... I like it. I think it's grand. Just grand. It's grand, man. I tell you. Babe. It's grand.
Super.
It's just super. It's just totally super.